We're going to be getting started in just a little bit. I'm not sure if this timer is correct. Here, let me open this up real quick. I'm not sure if this timer that I have going is correct or if it's going to be correct. I'm just trying to get everything set back up after the internet went out. So hang with me. We'll get through Theology Program in a year, all through theology in 1 year, started in just a minute. Yes, I do know I'm on. I am testing everything. We're going to start. I'll go back to the countdown, and it's going to say 30 minutes, but it's not going to be 30 minutes. It will be shorter than that. Not much longer, I promise. Sorry about the delay. We're starting at 10 o'clock. That's what we were supposed to do. 10 o'clock Central Time. That so far has gotten the best numbers. I'm still waiting on my Patreon. You can go over to my Patreon and vote if you want it at a different time. I've got a bunch of times laid out there, but this is every day, so this is your daily thing. I figure a lot of people that are doing it at 10, maybe because it's lunchtime, right before lunchtime, or we're central, and I don't know. Maybe 12 would be best. I don't know. Here, I'm going to check the poll. Let's check the poll real quick. Okay, let's go to iPad. And, well, let's go to, no, not there. Not there. Hey, this is a good one to put up, so I'm glad I'm testing this. I need to put this up. Okay, let's see here. Patreon, we have got, let's see here, 12 Central Time only has 10% of the vote. 6 a.m. doesn't have any. I thought people would want it for maybe traveling to work. But 10% for that one. And for 6 p.m., there's 30%, or 10 a.m. has 30%. So if you wanted a different time, oops, I'm not even on here. There we go. There's the vote. Again, we're getting ready to get started in a minute. Just trying to get all my ducks in a row after the internet crashed. It shouldn't crash again. I got my dogs out. All the German Shepherds gone. What is that? Oh, something. I got. There we go. Okay. I'll be back. I promise. We will. And this countdown is wrong. Okay, if anybody's waiting, we're starting. Sorry, again. I know it's crazy. But we're going to go ahead and start at 12. That's my time, so that's 23 minutes. That's what the countdown will be put at. 23 minutes. Here I go. 23. Let's see. Oh, it was already at 23. There's 23. Hopefully it's showing up as 23 on your screen. And I am out for a minute. But in 23 minutes, I do have it all set up. I promise. I've got it all set up. And we're going through theology in a year. Again, 19 minutes. We're going to be going on. I don't know what it says on your screen because whenever I go to my screens where it shows me at 13 minutes, 17 minutes right there. That shouldn't be that far over. Let's see what I did wrong here. Okay, there's that. Let's put that up there. That way. Okay, now go to paid member. Viewing as paid member. Okay, that should show up fine in just a minute. And Patreon. Oh, there we go. That's actually what. Oh no, that's the same thing. Sorry, folks. Just trying to get everything straight, you know. just going to put it just like that. There we go. That. Close that. Close this. Open that. Uh-oh. Now I got to find it on Discord. So I'm doing this on Discord as well. You see the problem? I've just got too many things going on. All right? Way too many things. Way too many things. I'm trying to do this with oh gosh, what's it called? OBS, and it's somewhat complicated. I'm going to streamline it. It'll be so much better soon, but as of right now, it is not that easy. I don't even know if it's showing up in the various places anymore because I've got to paste it in so many places, push it to so many places. I should just do it on YouTube and not even worry about anything else. But no, I have to go Twitter and Facebook and whatever that thing is called that kids use, the Discord and Patreon. Ooh, look at that Camaro. 700 horsepower supercharged. It's like that's a 1968 or 9. If you ever want to know how you can tell the difference between a 1968 or 9 Camaro, you just ask me. Wait till they hear about me. Wait till they get a load of me. What's that from? Anybody know? Wait till they get a load of me. That's Batman. That's the first Batman. Choose activity. Here's this. Okay, I'm just about on Discord. So if you're a member of Patreon, you can go to Discord. And before I overspeak myself, you have reached your playback limit. Playback will resume in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. What is my playback limit? I'm not trying to play anything back. I'm just trying to push live. All right, I'll get that going in a minute. We've got a little bit anyway. What time is it? 15 minutes. Let's see if the the countdown started over. So, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm on 15 minutes. If yours doesn't show 15 minutes, I am sorry, but that's what it shows here. How do you like my picture back there? That's pretty cool, huh? What is that on the side? Okay. If you wanted to start, you're never going to find this one. I can't even find it. It's there. I think it fell. It fell. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys pencil. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. Dallas Cowboys pencil. That's the find of the day. And if you find it, first person to find it, what should we do? Should we get him something? I think so. I think we ought to get him something. Nothing is excellent as a P-52 or a P-66 or a John Calvin or a Martin Luther. Those are too cool. But something. You got to get something. Maybe one of my books. You could be the second person who's gotten one. I've gotten one. You could be the second. Be cool. All right, hey, I'm telling you, it is in 15 minutes. No matter what this says, it's in 15 minutes. Okay, I'm getting a new countdown. That's what I'm going to do. I can get a new countdown. This was one I downloaded. I got it from Adobe. Adobe, they're supposed to be good. Okay, let's see here. 47, so that is 12 minutes. Countdown. I'm going to push this down to 12 minutes. I don't think it'll show up as 12 minutes on your on your end. Maybe if you refresh it, it will. I got 52 seconds before I can do that. Okay, I'm closing down the microphone. I'll be back in 12 minutes, and we'll try this again. Things are crashing, and they're crashing fast. Why? Why? I'm still trying to work this out. I've got 7 minutes. 7 minutes till 12. That's a countdown. If yours doesn't say 7 minutes till or 7 minutes left, put that down. I'm starting at 12 Central, which is in 7 minutes. Okay, if anybody's here, listen. Here's what I'm doing. No, I can't do that. Dang. I was going to start over the countdown, reopen it up so that the thing that was in Facebook isn't so long. Oh, countdown's over, so let's get started here. Oop, one thing. Don't ignore this calendar. Countdown. One more thing. Worry not, my friends. Worry not. All right, welcome to the second showing, the second episode, the second time I've ever done this through Theology in a year. No, it's not the second time I've ever done this. This is the second episode. So last time we got through one slide of one course, in which that course is over 300 slides. So I've got to do better. But in fairness, this is kind of like the start to the start. Kind of explaining to you what's going on and what we're doing so that you understand. First of all, let me put this up here. Remember, Patreon is the way I get my support. It's the best way. Please, if you would like to, and if you're a member of Patreon, you can go over to the Discord server and watch this. Hopefully soon there will be other people as the word gets out. So you can go to Discord and you can watch this. Where is my... You know what? One thing I forgot. I'm not even going to worry about it, okay? I'm not even going to worry about it because I don't know what to do right now. But it is very unfortunate because I don't have my the chat. I can't see the chat. That is too bad. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going over to the Discord server myself. And I am going to start the chat myself. So I'm going to stop recording, but I'm still on with you guys. And I am going to... You're going to have to, if you want to talk to me, you have to be a member of Patreon, and you have to go to the Discord server. It's not up yet. Just hold on. I'm getting it up right now. And yes, we are starting right now. So, fear not. Not right this second, but you know what I mean. Now I'm going, I'm on at YouTube as well. YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Okay, so grab this. Copy. And close that down. Otherwise, I'll get feedback. And I'm going over to the Discord server. So if you want to talk, you're going to have to go to the Discord server. This is not how it's always going to be. But for right now, I don't have any choice. Because for some reason, the chat box disappeared. It just completely disappeared. So at Discord... There is a, well, shoot. I'm on Discord, and I can't see the chat either. All right, I'm getting this cleaned up, guys. I will. This is all going to be cleaned up. There's so many. You don't understand the things I'm doing. There's probably one way to streamline everything I'm trying to do, but right now I can't. Oh, wait a minute. I know how to see the chat. Sorry. Oh, man, this is quite a ordeal. Okay, let's go to, I'm going to go to Restream, where I'm pushing it through. I shouldn't get any feedback, and I should be able to continue with this. It is on at Discord, though. You can see it at Discord, and you can chat at just Discord, but right now I can't see your chat, but you can chat with other people, other members of the Theology Program, of Credo House, of my Patreon, excuse me. Okay, I am on Restream, and I'm getting this started here. Come on, Restream. Also, folks, listen. Although it hasn't started going up yet, if you subscribed to our podcast, the Theology Unplugged podcast, excuse me, is it the Credo House? No, it's Theology Unplugged. If you subscribe to Theology Unplugged podcast, you will be able to see everything. And, you will be able to get this on a daily basis. And if there is something the matter with the stream right now, remember I'm doing it live, but I'm recording straight to the computer for that. So I will put the audio on iTunes and Spotify and all the others. It pushes through. And then I am going to push it back through YouTube again. So you'll see it on YouTube again. Okay, so now let's see here. Chat. Okay, I can see the chat. And I'm just going to push this out right here so I can see it the entire time. So, chat is here, guys. If you want to discuss, we're getting started right now on Through Theology in a Year. All right, no countdown. No, that's not it. Here we go. I'm starting to record. Welcome to Through Theology in a Year. This is session number 2. And thank you all for coming. This is great. I'm really excited because you know what I'm doing. You may not know this yet, but listen. I am going through the entire theology program, all 6 courses: Introduction to Theology, Bibliology and Hermeneutics, Trinitarianism, Humanity and Sin, Soteriology and Ecclesiology and Eschatology. That's 60 sessions. That's 90 hours of classroom teaching if you got it at credocourses.com, which you can. You can buy it at credocourses.com, the entire theology program. You can start it at your church. There's workbooks, there's PowerPoints, everything you need, including teacher's notes in the slides to tell you what to do. So it is all there just in case you want to teach it. But you don't have to teach it. You can just play the video and then have discussion afterwards because there's discussion questions at the end. You just go to credocourses.com, look up the theology program, and you can get it there. I think it's really cheap right now. I mean, the entire thing for like $99. Or if you become a member of Patreon, here we go again. Become a member of Patreon, and you got everything for free. If you are, I think it's a $25 a month member. So $25 a month. Support what we're doing Through Theology in a Year and a million other things, okay? So thank you all for showing up. Remember also, you can get at credoministries.org. Go there. It's a little bit messy. I know that, okay? But this is the one place you can go to kind of see everything we've got to donate. It is a tax-deductible donation, so you can go there, credoministries.org. This will be, we're kind of redoing everything right now and trying to streamline it, make it better, make it easier. Things are not easy right now with a lot of the stuff, but my Patreon is easy. Please become a Patreon member. I really appreciate it. That's enough of that. Let's get to theology. We are doing the theology program, the entire thing. So let's go ahead and start. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of the theology program, how it is in the theology program that we are using our mind. And this is just an introduction to this because later on we're going to talk a lot about rationality, reason, and what that has to do with your theology. But this is prolegomena. Prolegomena is the things you need to learn beforehand before you do theology. the first course in theology that you need to take, the first book of theology that you need to read. I'm sorry. Great book. You need to read it, Holiness of God. But at the same time, you have got to take Prolegomena. It is the most necessary course in our day. I promise I'm not just saying that because I'm teaching it. You've heard me say that for years and years and years. It's because it's a methods course. Most people's biggest problem is not necessarily bad theology, although that is a problem, but it's a bad methodology. It's a bad starting place. It's kind of, Prolegomena for theology is kind of like how to study the Bible or Bible hermeneutics for Bible study. You don't just become a Christian and open the Bible and start reading. I mean, you can and you should, but at the same time, you need to know how to read it. You need to know how to interpret it. There are all kinds of rules. We teach you those rules. Even in this class, we go through a lot of them, but it's all the rules. It's biblical hermeneutics, understanding how it is that I teach a authorial intent hermeneutics, that you've got to read the Bible according to what the author intended and what the people heard of the day. There's all kinds of things to do with this, but it's just an illustration right now. Prolegomena is the hermeneutics of theology. I just came up with that. That is good. I've got to start using that. It's not really that good because most people don't know what hermeneutics means. So it's not the greatest illustration, but for some people it may work. It is the hermeneutics, the how to study theology of theology. Jesus said, greatest commandment, most important commandment on the planet. This is it. I mean, if you wanted to know what it is that Jesus tells you to do, what God tells you to do, you're a new Christian, you're an old Christian, you're a Christian who has kind of lost his way, forgotten about things, what is the most important thing? He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. With all your nous, with all your mind. I know I talked a little bit about this last time, but it's so important. Now I want to talk a little bit about this. I want to go and illustrate more what it means to love the Lord your God with all your mind. Now check this out. This is in where is it at? I gotta get this up. Let's see here. There we go. This is in Isaiah chapter 40 through 48. Is such an important section. But watch this. I'm going to read through it. It says, and I'm reading from the New American Standard of Isaiah chapter 46. Those who lavish. Oh, no. Let me back up. I want to go first here. Okay. Bel has bowed down. Nebo stooped over. These are gods of the day. This is interesting. It's really, really great. Bel has bowed down. Nebo has stooped over. These are the idols. They have fallen down in this situation. That is what God is saying. They have fallen down. They have tumbled over. Get that in your mind. Think about that. These golden statues or whatever they're made of, God's talking about, hey, they fell down because it was common for a God to fall down. They're idols. They carried them on their shoulders. They carried them from place to place. And sometimes as they're walking, it would just tumble. It would fall over. That's what these idols would do. Listen to God's humor in this. I mean, seriously. Whenever we're reading this, not only are we going to talk about the importance of rationality, not only are we going to talk about the importance of staying away from all irrationality and foolishness and just plain stupidity. That's what people are doing in this passage. But we are seeing God's humor. It really is quite funny. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks it's funny, but I laugh quite a bit every time I read through this. And I'll read through it by myself, and I will laugh. I promise. Okay, Bel has bowed down. Nebo stooped over. Their images are consigned to the beast and the cattle. What does that mean? They look like the beast and the cattle. So their images are consigned. You got to choose. Okay, you want to make a god? Which do you want to make? You want to make? You can choose anything. We got lots of animals. Anything you want. You want to choose a lizard? Choose a lizard. But that's kind of what God's doing here. They have stooped over. They have bowed together. They could not rescue the burden but have themselves gone into captivity. So the idols of Israel have gone into captivity because, whenever God brought judgment upon Israel, then who went into captivity with them? These idols. That's what God's saying. I don't know that they really took the idols. Maybe they did. But what he's saying here is that he has even put them in captivity. He is in control. That's the idea here. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the houses of Israel, you who have been born by me from birth and have been carried from the womb. Even in your old age, I will be the same. And even in your graying years, I will bear you. I have done it. I will carry you. I will bear you and deliver you. Okay, so this is a reversal. God is saying, you're carrying the idols around. They're falling down, but I'm going to carry you. Now let's go to the next part here. Okay, it says this is how an idol is made. The man shapes iron into a cutting tool. Okay, first you got to get a cutting tool before you can make an idol. You got to make the cutting tool, right? You can't just form it with your fingers. You have to have a tool. So the first thing you have to do is make the tool. I love it. I think it's hilarious. He's talking about all the work they have to go through to make this idol. And he works over the coals, fashioning it with hammers and working with his strong arm. I'm sorry, that is funny. Strong arm. He's saying, here's the people, and they're making an idol, and man, I'll tell you what, look at that guy. His arm is strong. It's strong enough to make the idol, which is basically saying the idol needs a strong man. But the man isn't that strong. That's kind of what God is saying. God is looking at this as a very ironic situation. His strong arm is making this idol. He also gets hungry and fails in strength. I'm sorry, is that not funny? He gets hungry and he fails. As he's making the idol, he stops and he says, you know what? I can't do any more of this idol business. I can't do any more of this idol making business until I get a bowl of Frosted Flakes. It is, he's got to re-energize himself. And that's irony. He fails in strength. He drinks no water and becomes weary. It's just there. Okay. Another shapes wood. Okay, here's another guy walking in. Another shapes wood and extends a measuring line. He outlines it with red chalk. I'm sorry, irony. Okay, he works with it with his plans and outlines it with a compass. Okay, you can't tell me God is not funny, okay? I'm pretty darn funny sometimes. At least some people think in my family. I can make people laugh sometimes. You can make people laugh sometimes too. Not as much as me, but sometimes you can. Where do we get that from? Is funniness just something humanity made up? No, God did it. God is funny. He really is. He's righteous. He's perfect in every way, but he's also funny. And this is funny. He outlines it with the compass and makes it like the form of a man, the beauty of man, so it may sit in his house. This is the idol, folks. Surely he cut cedars for himself. Now, where are we making the idol out of? He cut cedars from himself and takes a cedar. Wait a minute. Maybe it's an oak. He says, or an oak. The NIV gets it better whenever it says he takes a cypress. No, maybe he takes an oak. So it's basically he can't choose. Part of the irony, it's just great irony. And raises it for himself among the trees and of the forest. He plants a fir and the rain makes it grow. Again, listen to this. What makes this idol? The man does. What is it made out of? The wood. What makes the wood? The rain. Who brings the rain? God. You see what's going on here? Okay. Now, basically, God is saying right now, folks, how stupid can you be? Okay, that's what he's saying. How irrational can you be? This doesn't work out. You're not using your mind. Your strong arm, you sweat while you're making this. You get tired. You say, I need to get food. Oh man, this is just great. Okay, I'm just going to read a bit more here. Hang with me. Let's go down to verse 15. Then it becomes something for a man to burn, so he takes one of them and warms himself. Okay, so this is the wood. He cuts the wood and he makes something to burn so that because he's getting cold. He also makes a fire to bake bread with the wood, the same wood that he's making an idol with. He also makes a god and worships it. He makes a graven image and he falls down before it. Now listen to this. Verse 16 is my favorite. I won't laugh so much because I got to get through this. It's funny though. Okay. Half of it, verse 16, half of it he burns in the fire. Over this half he eats meat and he roasts it. And he roasts and is he roasts a roast and is satisfied. He also warms himself and says, I am warm. I have seen fire. But the rest of it, verse 17, rest of it he makes into a god, his graven image. He falls down before it and worships it and says, save me, deliver me, for you are my God. Do you see what's being said here? Do you see it? He is making an idol, and half of the wood that he chops down, I think, you cut the wood in half, you split it in half, and you say, which one should I make as the idol that's going to save me? And which one of it do I burn in the fire so that I can be warm? Okay, so he chooses half. That's the irony God is doing. Now, okay, verse 18, watch this. This is what I'm trying to get to. This is very important. Isaiah 44, verse 18. Remember that. They do not know, these are the people making it, nor do they understand, for he has smeared over their eyes so that they cannot see, and their hearts so they cannot comprehend. No one recalls, nor is there knowledge or understanding. Okay, God's blaming them, but at the same time, he's saying, this is part of my plan. You got to understand providence and free will working together. We don't understand it, but here it is. Verse 19, no one recalls, nor is there knowledge or understanding to say, be rational and say, half of it I have burned in the fire, and I have made bread over its coals. I roast meat in it, and then with the rest I cut into an abomination. I fall down before a block of wood. Do you understand how irrational this is? Okay, I'm not going to spend that much time on this because there's so much more I could get to with this. It just goes on and on and on. But at one point, God says, nobody stops to think. Nobody stops to think. I actually want to get to that. Okay, let's see here. Oh, well, I'll find it. I'll get to it later. All over Isaiah 40 through 48, it does this. But it says, no one stops to think. No one is stopping in the middle of all this process and using their mind. This comes back to this. The greatest commandment. The first is this. Jesus said unto him, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the entire person. And I'm not trying to neglect heart and soul. We will talk about those later. But what I'm trying to get to is an understanding that God has created our mind and he expects us to use it. We do not jettison all rationality whenever it comes to faith. Faith is not opposed to reason. Faith is what we have because of reason. Rationality pushes us. We do not believe in God in spite of the evidence. We believe in God because of the evidence. We do not take a blind leap into the dark, a terrible notion of faith that arose during the Second Great Awakening. And Kant had something to do with it as well. I don't want to get into that. It's really great. I mean, Kant's noumenal realm and a separation with the phenomenal realm, all of that is when this started. But do you understand that people all the way until the Second Great Awakening, until the 18th, 19th century, whatever, it all began to change, nobody defined faith as a blind leap into the dark. Nobody did that. That is a modern conception, and unfortunately, Christians all across the world, all across America, all across the Western rational world have bought into it. Faith is a blind leap into the dark. And let me tell you something. Once you define faith as that, you don't really have anything to... You don't have a gospel that is compelling, convincing. I'm not saying God needs all this, because the power of God is in him. The power, he will do what he will, and anytime you bring somebody to Christ, anytime somebody believes, anytime somebody is, their spirit is revived within them, they awaken. We call this being born again, but they awaken in themselves and understand and have truth. It is God. It is the power of God, but he uses means. And those means are us thinking rationally and being able to give a rational defense for our faith. We have got to do that. This is the starting point. Now, I do this because I want you guys to stay with me. I do this because I want you guys to understand it's not the entirety of this course. It really isn't in this session. But I do want you to understand as we push forward, this is something that I am very passionate about. J.P. Moreland wrote a book called Loving God with All Your Mind. I encourage everybody to get it. It is an incredible book. It really is. It is something that is... It will help you in this area so much. Basically, everything that I've said so far, everything that I've been talking about, he wrote a whole book outlining it, helping you to understand that faith is not a blind leap into the dark. And I would love for you to get that. Now, let's get on to this. Okay. Let's see here. I am going to go and talk about who you are, okay? Those of you who have taken the theology program, you may like this. This is fun. I like this part. This is something I haven't changed because it is still the same. These are still the type of people who I have taught for 25 years, as I have taught this particular course well over 100 times. And this is what I see, who you are and why you are here, why you are listening to this. You are practical Priscilla. You are a person who has never seen the practicality in deep theological study, and you are here to see if we can change your mind. See if I can change your mind. I hope I can. I really do. Because I think, practical Priscilla, you have kind of bought into the Kantian separation of faith from reason. And I've got to change your mind. I've got to change your mind about that first, because this is practical. It is life-changing. It changes your faith not only in your understanding of it all, but in your realization this is really true. Now, one of the things, practical Priscilla, I am going to do, which is hard for you, excuse me, I got scared Susan too quick, I'm going to do for you, and please listen to me, everybody, okay? Please listen to me. I know what some of you will think when I say this, and I know how some of you think about this because of the way it has been used in our world so much. But my goal is to deconstruct you, okay? And some of you are going, oh my gosh, here's Michael. He is kind of the progressive, emerging liberal. I am the furthest thing from it. But at the same time, I need, as a teacher, to deconstruct you. And what I mean by that, I've got to take you, you got to help me. I can't do it without you, but we're going to take your faith apart and put it back together. And as we take it apart, it's going to hurt. Remember last time I talked about how important it is to start with the assumption that you might be wrong. That is part of the deconstructing. Now, the difference is, let's take deconstructing your faith, practical Priscilla, as something where you are taking off in an airplane. And we're going to fly around and get a perspective of everything. You've been living in a certain place, and I want you to see everything. I want you to see all the options. Now, the difference in me and many people out there, there's many people out there that will talk about deconstructing your faith and the necessity of it and the freedom that comes with it for some people. For some people, it's so freeing because now they have jettisoned all the conservative Christianity, and now they're open to just kind of every religion out there, and that we've got to be open in all of our morals and rethink everything. Whenever they say rethink, whenever they say deconstruct, they mean get up in the plane and never land. Okay? Get up in the plane and never land. Now, I'm going to take you up in a plane, and I want you to see everything. But my goal after that is to land you. We will land somewhere. And maybe it's not the best illustration, but at the same time, I will put you back together. I will deconstruct you. Me and you together. Me, you, and God. Me, you, and the Holy Spirit. We're going to put you back together in the end. I promise. That's my goal. And you may get deconstructed, practical Priscilla, and you have all these beliefs and get reconstructed and have all the exact same beliefs. Or some of them may change. Some of them may tweak. Even the most foundational, you have to consider might be wrong in order to strengthen in that foundational one. Okay, we're running out of time. Okay, Scared Susan, big words scare you. You don't really think that you are smart enough to be here. You are here this time, but you may not be here the next. Listen, folks. I don't use big words just to use big words. I promise I don't. And no theologian who's worth his salt does that. We have a vocabulary set. It's just like in any other industry. You get a new job and you're going to learn new terms. If you are a computer programmer, there's all kinds of words that you'll learn, that you need to learn. You don't stop and say, nah, just give me it in an easier way. Give me it to me some way. Don't use those big words. Why not? Why can't I use prolegomena? Why can't I use Kantian noumena and phenomenal worlds? I mean, why can't I tell you about this stuff? I will explain it as I go, and if it's important, I'll say it over and over again, and it is a vocabulary that I want you to learn by the end. Prolegomena is one of those words. It's not that hard. Prologue. You can learn. You can. Scared Susan, I'm telling you, there's no reason to be scared of big words. You learn big words growing up, and sometimes we think once we turn 18, it's over. Cut off. I can't learn anything else. I should not. I am 18. I've gotten out of school, and every word that I have learned, my entire vocabulary is set. Why? The mind works off of vocabulary. It does. Try to think without using words. You can't. And I'm telling you, some of these words we're going to learn, some of these concepts we're going to learn are the greatest concepts in the world, and therefore the greatest words to be going on in your mind. Whenever I teach you later on about the simplicity of God, or the aseity of God, I think that word, and those are some of the greatest attributes there is. And I love that word. And you will too, I promise. Scared Susan, don't worry about it, okay? Know-it-all Nick. I like know-it-all Nick too. I do. Okay? A lot of us were know-it-all Nicks. I was a know-it-all Nick. I really was. You already know everything, and you're just here to see if we do and pick up where we leave off. Or where I leave off in this case. So basically, you're like, man, I got it all. I'm checking, I'm just kind of tweaking my own stuff, and I'm keeping it together. Listen, know-it-all Nick, please, please, please start with the assumption that you are not a know-it-all, okay? Otherwise, this isn't going to do you any good. It really isn't. Every time you learn something, you got to kind of loosen the bolts, just in case something that may need to be changed or added. Okay, let's see here. Fundamentalist Fred, kind of like Know-It-All Nick, you are here as the God-ordained guardian of orthodoxy. Here's you. You are here to sit with arms crossed and protect. There are tons of fundamentalist Freds. I can name so many of them in every avenue that I run. And tell you the truth, they're not that much fun. Fundamentalist Fred's probably the least fun person I know, because he's just there to kind of straighten everybody else out. I saw a website the other day, and it was just it was a social media account, and the tagline was if you're reading this, you need to stop and go read your Bible. It was the tagline. Okay? I mean, give me a break. That's the type of stuff that we don't need to be. We don't need to be. We wait for openness. We work within a world that is all God's. So the introduction of yourself and the description of yourself, this is part of what we are supposed to do as Christians. We're not just supposed to tell everybody to read our Bible and turn around and say, hey, why are we talking right now? We should be reading our Bible. Well, while she was writing that, maybe she should have been reading her Bible, because she would find out that she should not have been writing that. Some people I'll write stuff sometimes, and people comment, because I write a lot on Patreon, on my social media, on my blog at credohouse.org, and sometimes people jump in and say, why are you talking about this? You should just be talking about the gospel. I am busy, going across the world sharing the gospel. What are you doing? I'm teaching theology. I'm strengthening your faith, so you can do this, so you can be more excited, so that what you transfer to other people is more not only attainable because you explain it well and you know it well, but also more defensible, more beautiful in every single way. Oh, want an answer, Will. My son's name is Will. I wrote this before, and so Will, if you're watching this, I wasn't talking about you. Okay, I wasn't. You're know-it-all, Will. I'm sorry, I was just kidding. Okay, want an answer, Will. You have a lot of questions. You are here not to do theology in community, but to write theology down with pen and paper. This is the type of person who just writes everything down, and he doesn't stop and think about it. It's just he loves new words, and he loves to write them down so that he can put them in the front part of his mind, and they never go to the back part, which integrates and pulls everything together, and all the neurons connecting. You're trying to figure out how it relates to this and that. All it relates to you, what an answer, Will, is the piece of paper. Put down the piece of paper. I don't want you're the type that doesn't need a piece of paper. It's fine for other people, but not for you, because you need to stop and think and really think deeply about this. Traditionalist Terry, you want to learn, but your traditions and your preconceived notions bind you. You are here to have your traditions confirmed to be true. I'm not here to confirm your traditions, Terry, even if they're my traditions. I'm not here to confirm prejudice. Traditional backgrounds can prevent learning so much. Start with the assumption that your traditions might be wrong. Confrontational Carl, you are a believer in Christ. You're not a believer in Christ or the Bible. You have no intention of becoming one. You are here to argue. Well, I've had a lot of those in the past. It's fewer because the people that usually hang around my circles. I'd love for more confrontationalist Carl. I need to get where confrontationalist Carl is more often. But I want, if you're a confrontationalist Carl, come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Hey, bring it on. As long as you're willing to admit you might be wrong, then we're good. Let's go. Okay, Struggling Sam loves Struggling Sam. You are a believer in Christ, but you have a lot of doubts and struggles. You have never had a safe place to express those doubts. You are here to see if this is the place, and it is the place. It is the place. We all have doubts. We hide them. We're ashamed of them. We think that we're not supposed to have them. Let me tell you something, Struggling Sam, and everybody else. Let me ask you this question. Is your faith perfect? Seriously, is your faith perfect? What do you're all sitting there saying, of course not, Michael. It's not perfect. Anybody who says their faith is perfect, man, I got some other things. Most people won't say that. They will admit that their faith is not perfect. Your faith is not perfect. You can grow. You can believe more today than you did yesterday. You can believe more tomorrow than you did today. Your faith is not perfect. If your faith is not perfect, there is a gap between your present faith and perfect faith. Realize that. What is that gap? Is it unbelief? No, it's not unbelief. It's just a lack. And sometimes it is doubt. It is the bridge that makes up your current state of belief and the state of belief that is perfect. The Apostle Paul said, I have not attained to perfection. Let me tell you something. We will not attain to perfection even in heaven. In sanctification we will. Being without sin we will. But as I said last time, we're going to be learning for all of our lives. Don't worry about your doubts. We all have them. I have them. And please understand that I really am here. Wherever you're listening to this at, please, if you are really struggling with doubts, and it is something that I may need to talk to you by yourself, okay? So contact me however you can on my Patreon or through YouTube. Yeah, the hardest thing is YouTube because I don't check the comments there that much. I need to. I'm going to start. Facebook, I do more often. I check the comments there. If you send me a private message, if you are on Facebook, if you're on Patreon, like I said, just try to get a hold of me through one of those venues, and you can. We'll figure this out because I will help you. I will. One-on-one, I will help you. I know that I may get backlogged on some of this stuff, but right now, at this moment, I don't know when you're listening to this, maybe it's 10 years from now, maybe I can't help you now because I'm no longer around or I've got too many people I'm helping or something like that. But just that there are people to help you. Struggling Sam. Curious Carla, you're not really sure why you are here, but you're excited to find out. This is in my classroom. Some people take my class and it's just like, hey, it sounds like a good class. Introduction to Theology, Prolegomena. Let's see what it is. And I'm excited about Curious Carla. Okay, so that is it. Oh man, I forgot to put I had myself up the whole time rather than this. There's Curious Carla. There's Struggling Sam. Anyway, folks, listen, again, we're out of time, but I'm so excited you guys came. I really am. I want you to keep on coming back every day. We're going to try. Right now we're doing this, and we may tweak the time a little bit, but right now we're doing it every day at 10 Central on all of these platforms. And please, go to YouTube, watch it every single time. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Facebook, subscribe to Twitter. Wherever you're watching this at, subscribe. Wherever you listen to things most at, subscribe. If this is on iTunes or on Spotify or any other place, subscribe. That's what I need you to do. It's important because that kind of pushes it. And tell other people about this. Tell other people about what we're doing. This is a full year through theology. J. Vernon McGee did through the Bible in a year. I'm doing through theology in a year. So that's going to be exciting. Once again, folks, let's see here. Once again, credohouseministries.org. If you can donate, that would be great. If you can't, don't even think about it. And Patreon, you can become a patron member and support us for $3. $3 a month. That's it. You can support what's going on here, and this is not the only thing going on. We got lots of stuff. We got courses. We got a credo house we're trying to build, which is a theological coffee house. That is the next thing on the agenda. So please, please, please become a member of Patreon. That is the best thing for me because I can kind of gauge what is coming in each month, and then I can prioritize and personally right now I'm trying to gain enough support to do this full time, which I am doing it full time, okay? But I'm not taking enough money to do it full time right now. So there's lack every month, and if you could come help out, that would be great. If you can't, I don't want you to. You can become a free member of Patreon, and there's lots of free stuff that I release on Patreon, so keep that in mind. Again, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you on a daily basis at 10 o'clock through Theology in a Year. We will see you next time.